My dad always used to say, your money anybody can take from you, but your knowledge nobody can take from you. Whoever you are, you're chasing the wrong thing. Chasing money, chasing success, chasing happiness, that's just kind of like getting to the shortcut. We wanted to dive deeper into this. We wanted to surround ourselves more with this kind of energy, have more conversations around this. Wiser together, a pair of one denim jeans takes 10,000 liters of water to make.
It's hard. People might not want to do it. It's boring. It's not sexy. But at the same time, they know that it's the right path. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Let me start this episode by saying this. Whoever you are, you're chasing the wrong thing. In fact, we're all chasing the wrong thing. We've been conditioned to chase the wrong thing, whether it be a success, whether it be it happiness, whether it be it money. You're chasing the wrong thing. Stick around to find out more. Welcome back to another episode of Wiser Together with your hosts Parmeet and Anas Pasha. So, what do I mean by we're chasing the wrong thing? I feel like all these things are very surface level. The only difference, I've seen people living in heavenly conditions, but they're upset, they're sad, they're not fulfilled. And I've seen people living in hellish conditions and they're fulfilled and satisfied and happy. So even though we think our surroundings have an impact over our well being, and to some extent they might, but these people who I've come across in different walks of life. I went to Africa recently, people with nothing, so joyous, so happy. And I've also been in these capitalistic big cities in Dubai, London, Sydney. People have everything, they have all the money in the world, they're successful, got the right partners, but they're not happy. What is the difference? It's your mind. Too many of us put too much importance on things that are on a surface level, how we look, how strong we are, our physical strength, our physical health. But all this will succumb to the limitations of your mind. I feel like chasing money, chasing success, chasing happiness, that's just kind of like getting to the shortcut. Once you get there, eventually you have to go through your mind to get to these things. What we need to focus on, I was very fortunate to realize this very early on in my life, that the only thing that we need to transcend in this world is our mind. We need to focus on mental health. We need to focus on our mental strength. We need to focus on our mental resilience. That is something deep down, that is something that is not on the surface level, goes to our core of our being. And if we are able to achieve these things, everything else, be it happiness, be it success, be it money, it will follow, as long as you are in control of the conversation you have here. What do you think of that?
Oh, I absolutely agree. It's we've been on this journey for more than a year now, and every day, all of these things that we're talking about, the truths that we're talking about, they just hit hard every day.
Yeah, and the more and more we dive deeper into this, the more we realize like how powerful your mind is. It can be your biggest asset or your biggest liability. We've just got a glimpse of it, and day in day out, me, Anas, and our friends, we're trying to get them to do the same. Dive deeper and understand the strength and the limitless potential of our mind. Right?
It gets what I've noticed is that it gets even more tough as we're growing. We're growing with more responsibilities. We're expanding, and basically, as we're moving towards more resistance, more friction, trying to take on more things, the more the conversation inside here gets tricky. It deploys new ways, new methods. It tries to show you a lot of things. It comes up with
Yes.
more arguments. It's like a lawyer. It's like a lawyer inside your head. Is trying to debate. Is trying to advocate for the easier path, for the path of least resistance. We've talked about
Yes.
limbic friction, and I feel like it's been hired This lawyer has been hired, I don't know by who, but the lawyer tries to put you on a path of ease, just survival, relax, enjoy, do not
Yeah.
expand. You already are doing so much.
This just comes down to the nature of our mind. Our mind wants to be comfortable. Our mind wants to take the path of least resistance. Our mind, this can be tracked back to our primal times as well, where you don't wanna encounter new situations. You don't wanna encounter situations that you're not familiar with, right? Because back in the day, that could mean stress, that could mean harm, that could mean you might be a prey to some predator, whatever it may be, right? But nowadays, the nature of the mind hasn't changed much. We still want to be comfortable. We still take the path of least resistance because that is familiar.
Like you said, primal times, a person had to literally fight every day to survive, like for everything. So I mean, comes back to what Sadhguru said as well. Like if, when your all of your needs are met, people don't really know what to do. People don't really know what to fight for. And in this day and age, when everything is at your fingertips, it's people are literally confused. Like you said, maybe this could be it, like when you visited Africa, or when you talked about people who might not have much but are the happiest, versus the people in the capitalist societies of the world, or the capitalist cities of the world, where they have a lot but they're still wanting more. And maybe it's just that we're chasing things that are not important, chasing things which are not part of our survival, and we really don't know what to chase once we have those things fulfilled.
Exactly. It's all an illusion, maybe created by society, created by capitalists, whoever it may be, is to ensure that we're focused on the wrong thing. We stay limited in our potential. And yeah, just do those things and maybe be happy with these mediocre things, and then pass away, and then this keeps going on. But like Sadhguru said as well, this is the most, your mind is the most complex thing in the world.
Damn right.
Learning, yeah, it just comes down to, no matter what your surrounding may be, how miserable or how heavenly or good your life may be, it just comes down to your thoughts, your perceptions, and your emotions. If you're able to be aware of these things, it will give you control over these things. And the more you become aware of them, the more you understand what thoughts you're having and what kind of actions they generate, the more you can be in control of them, and the more you can understand yourself, the more you can understand your mind and build that mental health, mental resilience, and mental strength that we come back to. That is the foundation for everything, be it success, happiness, money, whatever it may be, will result from that if you hack this, right? And to us, we got a glimpse of this last year, and we wanted to dive deeper into this. We wanted to surround ourselves more with this kind of energy, have more conversations around this. Uh, and we started a podcast, which is this very podcast, Wiser, together. And as we are, it's only been a year, and we're definitely different from how we were last year. There's been a lot of revelations, a lot of epiphanies, a lot of growth, a lot of re-strategizing as well. What started off with a podcast has turned into a community now. We don't just want to talk about these things and build an audience. We want to have a community where we're having back and forth conversations. Everybody's bringing in their uh, input and knowledge, and just expanding the collective knowledge and mental strength, resilience, and health of the community, all collectively, which is the beauty of the community. And uh, me and Anas had the chance to meet for a few months. I went down to Dubai. We got a chance to record a few episodes, and then we headed to our Karachi, which is our birthplace, and then that's where we launched our community. So, having understood that the mind is at the center of everything and is the foundation of anything and everything that you want to achieve in life, and it's the only thing that will lead you to money, success, happiness, whatever it is that you may be chasing, right? We came up with three pillars that help you build this strong foundation, which is your mind, which will help you lead a fulfilled, better, successful life, a life that you, how you perceive it to be. And those three pillars that we came up with were mindfulness. Mindfulness is any mindfulness activity that helps you understand your mind more. This could include breath work. This could include gratitude exercises. This could include observing your mind, different kinds of meditations, just understanding your mind more, being more observant of your thoughts. Mind only has one language, which is in the form of your thoughts. So you get roughly 70,000 thoughts per day, positive, negative, mix of both. The more you try to understand, not necessarily even understand, but be observant of the thoughts you're having. Observant is detached. You're not involved in the scene. You're not involved. You're just observant. You're just a watcher. You're just watching the thoughts you're having and let them go by without acting on them, which gives you the power to be more aware of these thoughts. And the second pillar is adversity, putting yourself in a challenging situation, putting yourself through adverse conditions wherein you see and observe and watch your mind cry, moan, complain, try to take the path of least resistance. But by just watching it and not reacting to the voice that we were initially talking about, you keep pushing through and you step outside your comfort zone. You realize the limitless, you just realize a glimpse of the limitless potential you have. And the more you keep doing that, the stronger you get. And last but not the least is conversation, talking about it, documenting it, manifesting it, uh, being vocal about it, exchanging that energy with other people, sharing your experiences and learning from the experiences of other people. Kind of keeps the dialogue alive within and around you. And collectively, if the whole community is doing that, one person's failure is everybody's learning, and one person's success is everybody's success. So we're truly privileged and honored to have these realizations and to have the resources to go on and launch this community. And as we go along, week in, week out, we're going to be having events in Dubai and Sydney, wherein we follow the same three-part approach, uh, trying to master the three pillars that aid to having a better foundation, which is our mind. Doing a mindfulness activity, taking on a challenge, and then having conversations around it, just mingling, socializing, and bringing it to reality. Oh, that's a lot of talking.
Absolutely. As Parmeet said, it was very nice. He came down. We held sort of like a surprise birthday, like a belated birthday, and like a Wiser launch event at his brother house as well. So we had all of our friends coming in over there. Then we went to Karachi as well. We flew down over there only for 2 days, uh, which was very quick, very fast. But yes, we got done with the event. We had about 28 people participating. It was very nice to have all of our friends who never really thought about breath work, meditation, and like doing a hard challenge. So we had made them do the ice bath, which was just insane because all of these people never really would have thought about doing it. But that was just incredible to see, and that was just incredible to get their feedback as well because um, just conditioning them and making them realize as well that this is something that they can do and it's not exclusive for, let's say, people like Wim Hof or like XYZ. We might see everybody is a superhero. It's just like what Parmeet said, that our mind is just sort of like puts us in a cage. And once they did it, they want to do more. So that was just incredible as well. And in Dubai as well, we went for a nice little hike, and that was supposed to be a nice little hike, but that turned out to be just like a steep climb
Climbing
on
a
the way.
mountain.
Yeah, climbing on a mountain, because basically we lost our way. The original hike that we were supposed to do, somehow we just lost the way, and we just kept climbing until we couldn't climb anymore. And at the top, we did a meditation session, and we did breath work, and that was just beautiful. There was a slight drizzle as well. Dubai at this time of the year, oh sorry, the entire UAE is just phenomenal. It's just amazing. So having done those things throughout the year, and this would have been the 39th episode, meeting so many people, seeing change in not only our friends, ourselves, but our family members as well, and how people. This is what I love, and Parmeet has noticed this a lot, is how people talk to us as well. Even at my workplace as well, how they perceive me, how my family perceives me, how my friends perceive me has just changed. They know that this person that they're talking to lives a certain lifestyle, and they want to embody that as well. It's hard. People might not want to do it. It's boring. It's not sexy, but at the same time, they know that it's the right path. They know that this is the path towards happiness. This is the path towards being healthy, not only for your body, your mind, but your spirit as well. And as Parmeet has said many countless times, that living this lifestyle basically makes us better sons, better employee in my case, a better brother,
Friends,
yeah, a
better
better
partner.
friend. Overall, it just brings out the best in you. And like, I really love what Sadhguru said, that as we grow old, like adults, they have like sort of this stressed out, exhausted look on their face. And I sort of realized that. I was like, damn, he's not wrong, because being an adult just hits you so hard. It's like so many responsibilities, so many things. It's like I said, it's not sexy, it's not fun. You barely get time to do a lot of things that you used to do. However, it's your choice. This lifestyle that we embody and the community that we're trying to make, it's our choice. It's our decision to do the things that we do, and we are the result of our decisions every day, whatever we eat, think, talk to, etc., etc. And after listening to Sadhguru about this, I have literally started putting a smile on my face, regardless of what the outcome or the situation is. I know that if I give my best, that's all I can do. Whatever the outcome is, that's not in my hand. But if I try my best, I have integrity, I have confidence, and that's all I need. So yeah, I mean, these 3 months have been insane. The next years are about to be insane. You're going to see a lot of exponential growth, a lot of things that Parmeet have been talking about, such as events. We're going to be launching a lot of different things in phases, and you probably might meet a lot of new faces as well that will be a regular part of the community. So a lot of things are coming up for sure.
Yes, 100%. And uh, it was truly touching and emotional, the first launch event, because uh, 90% of the people had never been in the ice bath. Most of them had no intention of, and 90% of the people or more, except a couple of people, nobody had ever stepped on a bed of nails. Right now, those are two things that are extremely good for your body in different ways, but are uh, motive and intention here isn't to highlight the health benefits of it that you can certainly find online. It's just having the courage to listen to the limiting voice in your mind, overcome it, and take an action that is uncomfortable that helps you grow. And not only all of them, most 90% of the people stepped on a bed of nails, they also got in the ice bath, boys and girls. Some of the guys and girls, five of them, stood on a bed of nails for 5 minutes,
5 minutes. Yeah.
which none of them thought was possible. I have never stood on a bed of nails for 5 minutes. It's extremely challenging. But I just remember that, some of them were just standing there. And that's where I saw the power of community. Had it been alone, it would have been many very challenging. But when you see your friends and your peers and people around you who are just as human as you, who live a similar life to you, see that thing that motivates you and encourages you and gives you power of you can do it, I can do it as well. And that is how you empower each other. When you see someone doing it and they're fine, you do it as well, right? It'll be hard for you to be the first one to do it, but after you see your friends doing it, you do it as well. And that's kind of the purpose, uh, partly of this podcast and and the community, and partly of our life as well. uh, Bringing more and more people the awareness and the understanding of how powerful their mind is, and giving them a glimpse of the limitless potential that lies within as you uh, transcend your mind. So that's all we're going to be doing through this podcast, through this community, through these conversations. And certainly, as we keep doing this, we're learning as well. And it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. I would just say one thing: at the end of the day, your worth is not decided by your success. It's not decided by your possessions. It's not decided by your money. Your worth is decided by, when you remove all those things, what are you, right? What is the conversation you have within you? How respectful the voice is within you? How powerful the voice is within you? Like, as you overcome these limitations within your mind wants to be comfortable, and you overcome that limitation and you do that again and again, you feel powerful within yourself. Your self-worth is automatically elevated. You feel like you can do more and more, and that is what defines your self-worth. My dad always used to say, uh, your money anybody can take from you, but your knowledge nobody can take from you. That will always stay with you. So the mental strength, the mental resilience, the mental health that you build on and accumulate and focus on and work hard on will always stay with you. That might result in your possessions and success and all of those things, but those are not the things that define you. Those are the things that add layers and layers upon what you actually are, right? And society just sees you from that lens, but only you know the voice you have within you, right? So extremely privileged, I feel like we're very privileged to be in a position where we can shed a light on these things, bring more and more people, and help them realize how to be in better control of their mind and how to use that to improve not just your life, but also improving the life of others around you. Coming to Sadhguru, like he said, that people carry misery on their face, and that's what you were saying, and that is so true. And energy is so contagious. Now, this isn't some pseudoscience. Now, there's been scientific
Oh
evidence,
yeah.
there've been studies. Energy is genuinely contagious. So is stress, right? So if you see someone crying, you can't laugh, right? If I'm sitting next to someone or something happens to them and they're crying, you automatically feel sympathy. You feel that energy within you, like why are they sad? What's going on? And if you see someone around you laughing and being happy and joyous, you get that energy as well. Like you feel it within yourself, right? Unless your egos come in between, then you might
Hmm.
start comparing and blah blah. But like your true self sees that energy and embodies that. So Sadhguru said, and I 100% agree with this: the best thing that you can do for people around you, and that costs nothing, just be joyous. Just by being joyous, that is the energy you emit, and that is the energy people take from you. And you never know what that energy translates into. You make someone happy, they go make someone else happy, which makes someone else happy, and they, through channeling that happiness, may be able to do something that is good for society, and it just comes back to you in one way or the other, which is what karma is basically. But yeah, just being joyous, which doesn't cost anything. Most of these like things that are so important in life, getting sunlight, eating healthy, sleeping on time, getting enough sleep, taking cold showers, exercising, they're free. They don't cost anything, right? But we neglect these and we focus on things that have very minimal impact but cost so much, and you pay so much money, and it's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. See, the thing that personally for me that has been the most valuable throughout this journey has just been understanding the mind as well. And like you said, the conversation that goes inside it. You can work on your body. You can do all of those things that are good for you. However, if work is not done for the mind, work is not done to regulate the conversation, and like you said, watch some of the thoughts go by, and it's not necessary to pick on all of the thoughts. Just be um, the right word that I use for myself is to take agency. You must take agency of your mind, right? By that, what I mean is that you must take control. These things like that we talked about, they help in giving you power to take agency. When you feel anxious, when you feel a certain way, when you're all over the place, it's only because you don't have agency, right? When we lose agency, we're losing control. Then it's the mind um, making us do its thing, making us latch on to the easier side of life, the short-term pleasures, like the instant
Yes,
gratification side of life, rather than you taking. Now I don't know what to call it. It's like I'm for me, I'm still a student. I learned from Parmeet mainly.
I'm
Uh,
a student as well. I
yeah,
learned from
but
Anas and other people.
it's just like so basically what I'm trying to say. So if we have the mind, then the other thing, like us, we are whatever we are. I don't know if it's a spirit or me as Anas versus the mind or whatever it is. It's just that like my idea has recently just been because I say this with giving just a little bit of context that work has been insanely crazy. Like days are going by as if they were minutes. I've never been this challenged in my entire life, and every day my mind tries to tell me to do or to take the easier route, and to just basically relax and put things on tomorrow. Put things on tomorrow, and I'm constantly listening, hearing, and sometimes I may even entertain that thought, but I know that that's not the right thought, and that really frustrates me. That really frustrates me because I am sort of losing agency. I'm sort of losing control. So this entire year I've had this revelation, this epiphany for me as well, that really there is a conversation going inside your mind which is telling you to take the path that, let's say, everyone is, let's say all of my friends are, you know and that path may be, it may look again like sexy, fun and entertaining and everything, and like it brings you pleasure. However, that's not the right path. And being 28 years old, I sort of realized this. I know we've talked about Julius Caesar, we've talked about Alexander the Great, all of these people who might have been our age and might have achieved a lot of things in their lives, all the goals that they wanted. And that was only because they chose the hard path. They did not give in to instant gratification. They looked at the long term picture. They chose to ignore their mind. They'd be like, okay, this thought is coming. Let me just put it on the side and let me not just entertain it. And let me just keep doing what is important. Let me just keep focusing on the important thing. Let me just keep focusing on my goal. Trust me, that is very hard. That is very hard. And it will, I think, take all of our lives to basically, it'll always be a constant sort of a battle, constant sort of a struggle. But the things that Parmeet talked about, hard things, putting hormetic stress on your body, which is just a bearable amount of stress, really calluses your mind. It tells your mind that no, you are not giving up without a fight, that you're going to fight and you're not going to listen. And you're going to do the things, you're going to enjoy yourself, right? You're going to relax. You're going to have all of those things, but when the time is right, and not all the time. That can't be life. That can't be. There's always a marginal utility of things. You can't have 10 ice creams in one sitting. The 10th ice cream
Yes,
will make you want to puke, right? So, realizing these things, compartmentalizing my life, entertainment in one side, work in one side, this in one side, has been the tremendous amount of value that this community has given me. Because the number of people that we've talked to, even Parmeet and I were having these conversations. What we're doing essentially is that we're sharing our lifestyle, we're sharing our ideas, we're sharing things that bog us down and things that bring us up. So for me, this has been the case, and this has been the case for building a community. The person that he talked about that did the 5 minutes nail board session was my friend Ira. I'm damn sure she would never have had done this if she was alone in a room or whatever. But the how the nail board system worked was that you need to have a peer that would be holding your hand, and that would be talking to you. And towards the fourth or the later minutes of the third minute, she wanted to sort of give up. She was like, I can't, I can't, I can't. And that was the job of the peer. The job of the peer was to let her know that I'm here. Nothing is going to happen to you. Keep going. Get it done. Execute, right? Nothing is going to happen to you. And if anything
And she
happens to
pushed
you,
through.
yeah, she pushed through. And if anything happens to you, I'm here. So, guys, really, community is just a tremendous, tremendous thing. I know that the world is becoming more solitude. People are going inwards rather than outwards because you have all of these things coming on, such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and everything. People have avatars now. There are games which people are immersing themselves into, and it's really scary what the next generation might be doing in terms of their leisure activities, their physical activities. So it's important for us to occupy these spaces, to raise
Hmm.
our voice and to start a conversation. So Wiser is going to be one platform which is going to be off of many, hopefully, in Sydney, Dubai. We're going to be partnering up as well. We're going to be working with different people as well to amplify this voice and to show the world how important it is. Just going to say one last thing. Parmeet, taught me from a book that he read was it's very interesting concept was regarding how people empower brands. um, let's say we'll take junk food. We're not both Parmeet and I, as by this time we're not fans of junk food anymore. Trust me, it was a part of our life. It still is, but a very small. We do indulge. However, uh, people, right? We're the ones purchasing, we're the ones seeing their advertisement, we're the one engaging, we're the ones giving such brands money, right? To empower, to elevate them, to make them into the billion-dollar juggernauts they are, right? With billions and billion dollars worth of valuation. Why not we empower brands that are pushing a positive agenda? I know this positive, negative is subjective, but let's say in my eyes and Parmeet's eye, if we are taking care of our physical well-being, if our mood is okay, like I said, if we're better sons, employee, daughter, father, etc., etc., I believe that brand is a force of good, and that brand can be categorized as a positive brand. We need to empower such brands. And it may not just be Wiser, it may be many other brands. There are so many brands that we saw in Dubai as well. Rami, the event that we went to, his brand, Let's Live, it's a community, but it's a brand as well, right? So we paid a certain amount of fee to get into one of his events. For us, that fee was just a way of telling him, sorry, my mic, I just touched my mic, got too excited. Yeah, so that is just our way of letting him know that, we trust in you, we support you, we believe in you. So it's a
And
very
you're doing the
interesting.
right thing.
Yeah, and just keep on going because it's easy for him to take his skills, like your father says, to take his knowledge and everything and go out and maybe get a job and do the same things for another brand, build that brand up with his knowledge, with his skills, with his efforts. And I don't know what that brand's net energy or net output would be for the world. So it's a very interesting concept that he really showed me, because we do see a lot of people talk about a lot of things, like even for Sadhguru, like people, I would find Quora on Reddit, a lot of people criticizing him and this and that, and why should we pay this much and that much for a lecture on this and that? Well, you're paying this and that much for literally junk food, literally calories which do not constitute to anything that goes into your body.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very, very interesting and
It's
powerful concept.
yeah, the thing is that it just comes down to like a lot of these, let's take Coke for an example, right? Or any other company, these big companies, Zara, fast fashion, like by the way, these guys are harming people and planet in ways you can't even imagine. Feel free to go and do your research into fast fashion, into what Zara is doing, into what Coke is doing, and for the environment,
You're
for the
talking
people.
about like
As
how clothes are made at such a fast rate that they're not even worn and they're just like piling up and everything.
yeah, but also like a lot of people don't know that the cost to the environment of each clothing is immense. Like, for example, a pair of one denim jeans takes 10,000 liters of water to make. And after it's made, that water is contaminated. It's full of toxins, right? Can't be used anywhere. It needs to be disposed somewhere. There's a huge problem going on in Pakistan now because a lot of these companies outsource this production in Pakistan, and Pakistan has weak regulations, or it has loopholes which you can get through to the government, which allows them to dump this contaminated water uh, in a way that isn't really disposed of properly. Which now there's a river close like Faisalabad or somewhere in Pakistan where like one third of the people there are developing these weird diseases and conditions because of that contaminated water. They also say even 10% of bottled water in Pakistan is contaminated. Uh, so I'm just saying that these companies, their sole agenda is profit, right? When any company, their sole agenda is to make a profit and to make more money, that's what they're prioritizing, and in prioritizing that they kind of give up on it. Comes at that profit comes at the cost of environment. That profit comes at the cost of your health. They don't care about your health, or they don't care about the environment. We give them power again and again and again to exploit us further and further. Whereas if you have someone, maybe even they're overpriced, or let's take uh, Sadhguru's example. Maybe if they're overpriced, you giving them money, at least that money is going. Where is that? You just gotta see, once you put in money somewhere, money is flowing, right? Where is that money going? When you put in money into Coke or these fast fashion, it is going into researching newer and smarter ways to exploit you. So you're giving them more and more power to find ways to exploit you. Wherein, let's say, if you're investing in Sadhguru, let's take that example, right? If I don't agree with a lot of things he says, I agree with a lot of things he says, right? But it just comes down to, I know that that person's intention is pure. You give him money, he's planting these millions of trees, he's raising the consciousness of the planet. Everybody's views are different and to each their own, but you
And
can't take
just
away
just a
from the
little
reality.
just a little caveat, like we know like there is always conspiracy, there's always a litigation about everyone going on in the world. There is not a single person in the world that does not have a litigation or a claim going on
Yeah.
against them.
Mm.
It's you just have to see the net. uh, just see the net, like overall what is their presence, like what are they contributing to the world, what their brand is doing for the world. You have to look at the net.
Positive for sure, and it just comes down to, just think of it this way: the money you're putting into, who that money is going to, and what are they doing with that money, right? So the more and more you empower these big brands and fast fashion brands that are just profit hungry and would do anything to get their profit, that profit is coming at the cost of the environment you live in and the cost of your health. So be more mindful in regards to that. And in terms of coming back to Wiser, as we discussed, understanding your voice, overcoming that, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to make your life miserable, always be doing the hard things, this and that. No, that's up to you. It's up to you to find your balance. But it's just about how honest you are with the voice within yourself, how much of a word you give it and keep that word. Let's say you decide tomorrow I'm going to do this and this, and throughout that day, in any balanced lifestyle, let's say you have a workout or you have certain things that are not as pleasureful, right? Any balanced lifestyle you're working, you're working your 9 to 5 or any other job, you're working out, you're doing certain things that are not as pleasurable. It just comes down to, do you stick to whatever you decide on, regardless of your mind telling you things that, oh, we don't need, we can skip the workout today, we can have a junk meal today, blah blah blah. The more power, and the more you succumb to this voice again and again, the more power it gets and it grows, right? So it just comes down to how honest you are and how aware you are with the voice within yourself. And do you actually keep the word you give to yourself, that I'm going to do this, this, and this? And do you actually go on and do the things that you promised yourself that you would do, regardless of your mind complaining? Because any stressful or uncomfortable situation, the mind will complain. So understanding it more and more, and just sticking to your path of the things that you want to do, improving consistently, be it you want to be a musician, you want to open a company, you have a purpose that you're trying to achieve. You will need to take a certain path which will be full of comfort and discomfort, which is up to you to decide what that balance looks like. But it just comes down to you sticking to that path regardless of your mind telling you to take the path of least resistance, because it always will. The more you play this game, the better you get at it, and it just becomes amazing. Yeah. So just be aware of the voices, two voices within your head, uh, and just know, like most things in life, our friend and huge influencer from Dubai, Rami, he came on the podcast as well. I love his saying that he says, effort is the only currency. Nowadays in our society, we just want to get things without effort. We just want to be sitting on our couch without doing anything and get those hits of dopamine, which comes at the cost of, you're basically sort of depleting your dopamine reserves. That dopamine that you're getting today without putting an effort is coming from your future levels of happiness.
It's not only depleting it's depleted. It's depleted, and they're taking
Yeah.
SSRIs. They're taking a lot of these mood enhancement drugs. Everyone is on prescription. Everyone is.
That's the thing, yeah. And if it was that easy, like if you were, then like there is so much dopamine around you in the form of TV, social media, food, drugs. Why is that still having these access to so many things, we're still miserable? Because the source of dopamine is coming from outside, it's not generated
Fair enough.
within. When you
Beautiful.
take a cold shower, when you work out, this dopamine, your body produces it yourself. It goes through
Exactly.
that effort. You feel good within yourself, you overcome your limits, you come out on top, and you feel good, your body releases dopamine, and that is natural and sustainable. uh, when you take dopamine from these outside sources, you get burnt out, you reach your limit, and that dopamine doesn't have any more effect. Like, what do they call it? It loses its efficacy.
Efficacy, and plus, it's you're dependent. You're dependent on
You're
something,
dependent,
and
yeah.
like I said, it you should always have agency. You should always have agency. The moment that you are dependent on anything or any person or any situation or any familiar reality, you're done. Might as well just pack up your bags
Not,
and leave.
yeah,
Yeah,
not sustainable. Now,
at all. Yeah.
sooner or later, that depression or the challenges, mental challenges, they're coming for you, right?
Mm.
So this is a never-ending journey, but just by being a part of this, and being a part of this community,
And
nobody's.
just to understand, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yes, sir. Very profound if people get it.
No.
But yeah, it's a community. Everybody's equal. Nobody's better or worse than anyone. Not me, not Anas, not anybody. The whole. We're not like, we don't claim to be like the enlightened ones or anything. Everybody's equal in
Enlightens,
the community.
and we also wear jeans, by the way. He will have 4 pairs of jeans. I have 4 pairs of jeans.
Yeah, we do.
So, but we're not
It's
going
a
to throw them away
process.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're
it's a
not going to
process.
buy another one that we see because we realize the impact it has. That's like
It's just
just small,
that
small. Yeah,
surrounding yourself with more and more people that vibrate on the same frequency and exchanging knowledge and amplifying that voice. If I'm a sole rider, I'm only learning from my own experiences. If I've got a community of 100 people, everybody's teaching each other, everybody's elevating each other together, and all of those 100 people are being not just the best version of themselves, but also elevating the life of people around them, their family, just by being happy, creating a lot of inspiration and motivation and discipline. If you see someone, if you see your friend be motivated and disciplined, chances are you're going to do the same, right? So just by association and that energy, transfer of that energy, we elevate ourselves. So we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to find ways to amplify it. We're going to find newer and newer ways to understand and overcome this mind and transcend and win this mind as much as we can. And we couldn't be more excited. Uh, so, yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything related to the community, how to join, what to do, you can comment below and we'll be sure to answer them as we go along and we keep growing this. A lot of the voices on this podcast will be from the community because that is the voice and dialogue we're trying to amplify. So stay tuned, uh, keep watching or keep interacting with us in any way you can and have been doing so. We really appreciate your support and we will see you in the next episode.
Ciao, guys.